It's been a while since I did this, but it's time for Break It Down with Brian H. Because I'm gonna talk Logan Paul. I know everybody's talking about Sami Zayn right now, and that's the trending topic. You'll get that on this week's episode of Wrestling Realm Now podcast. But we gotta talk Logan Paul. Shout out to my boy Omar, because this was his request. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta give it to the people, right? Let's go.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just gonna keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you say.
The Wrestling Realm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. You know, it's the first time I've done Break It Down with Brian H. solo in a while. Usually, we go on Patreon when I have a quick thought. So this won't be a long episode, but I felt, a good friend said, hey, can you talk about this? And you know what? That's what I do, my man, other people. But before we get into that, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Brian H. Waters. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel by subscribing down below. If you're watching, if you're listening to the podcast, guess what? It's in the description. It's right there for you. So make sure you check it out right there. And of course, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling Realm. So yesterday, I still got bills to pay, don't I? WrestlingRealm.com is up and running. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is back up and running. So make sure you go on that channel right now and purchase merchandise. You can get the Proud Wrestling Fan shirt. You can get the Wrestling Realm shirt. You can get a Wrestling Realm Now shirt. You can get a Wrestling for the Culture shirt. But we got new shirts too. We got the Raw Inspired t-shirt. We got the Jack Daddy shirt that the real Dwayne Allen. I thought he was trolling, but he really did it, y'all. He really posted that. So that is up there, So, yeah. And let's see. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah. Wrestling Figure Wednesdays. Make sure you check that out every Wednesday on Patreon. Brought to you by the real Dwayne Allen. You make sure you can check out his deep dive into his wrestling action figure fandom. So make sure you check that out. Now, folks, I had to take some coffee real quick. It's time to talk about the Logan Paul of it all. So I get a text from my friend Omar, and it was simple. He says this. And shout out to TW Talking About Terrence. Make sure you check out the Talking About podcast on YouTube and all podcast platforms as well. I'm pretty sure he'll talk about this as well. So when are we going to stop doing the Logan Paul doesn't belong bit? Now, we know Seth Rollins is playing off of it, hence their beef. Triple H just gave Logan Paul his praises. And he brought up a good point. He's been in the ring with guys like The Miz, who they completely trust, Rey Mysterio, Roman Reigns, and now Seth Rollins. He's getting top guys. So, folks, when y'all gonna stop saying it? The Logan Paul does not belong. Now, I understand a lot of people aren't the biggest Logan Paul fans. He makes it easy to hate. He's one of those guys. Like when you look at him, it's like you just want to punch him in the face. He makes it easy. He really makes it easy for you to hate him. But I'm looking at him, I'm like, you know what? I don't have a problem with him. Maybe because I'm not too heavy into the whole YouTube thing. So because I don't see like all those bits, I don't have a reason to hate him. But, I can see why people hate him. But I think it's time, we got to give him credit where credit is due. This isn't a easy business to jump in and take full-fledged. You look at the match that he had with Roman Reigns at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. I know a lot of people wasn't really too happy about that. But if you look at that match, it was fun, it was entertaining. And Roman, they told a story. One lucky punch, that's all he needed. Fortunately for fans and Roman Reigns, he didn't get hit with that lucky punch enough to take Roman Reigns out. It didn't happen. So I'm sitting back and I'm like, you know what? This is very, you sit back, you watch him come back in the Elimination Chamber. But let's go back to the Royal Rumble. He came in there, he did the spot. He jumped off the, I don't want to call it the roof, but he jumped off the ring, had the spot with Ricochet. And that right there was something. I'm like, the Royal Rumble is such a cluster. Yeah, you can go in there, you can just jump around, or you can sit back, and tell a story. And that's what him and Ricochet did. That's a match I believe people want to see. So you look at that part, and then you also look at this match, the story with him and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been one to run his mouth. We know that. He's never shies away what he says. He's actually become one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, one of my favorite characters, I will admit, during the 2017 era. I didn't care for that Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins came back, wasn't a fan. But this one right here, I like him. So you see him, and you see all the work that he's doing. And then you see Logan Paul come in. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be so much fun. This is also gonna elevate Seth Rollins as far as outside wrestling appeal because he's in the ring with Logan Paul. Let's not act like the guy don't have over 1 million followers. And yeah, Seth Rollins has over 1 million followers on Twitter, but let's go outside the wrestling world, the wrestling realm, as we may say. Let's go outside of that. We'll see Seth Rollins. We'll see Logan Paul. You'll see all these press conferences. You'll see so much stuff. And that's what I'm looking forward to, folks. That's exactly what I'm looking forward to. I believe that this will be a good match. And I believe Logan Paul is made for WWE. Triple H said it. He said that he's made for WWE. He knows how to entertain a crowd. You saw that at WrestleMania last year. And we got to give some credit to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny went out there last year and did his thing. I mean, 2 years ago, right? And when Bad Bunny did his thing, he set a new precedent. He made everybody else step their game up. And Logan Paul has done it. The celebrity spot won't be the same. No doubt about it. I just don't see it. The celebrity spot is not going to be the same because it's not going to be one of those things where you can just jump in or whatever. No, you're going to have to bring it. And that's what I see. You're going to have to bring it. You're going to have to make sure you step your game up because fans will call you out on it. And so when you look at Logan Paul, he's somebody that said, yeah, he's got that it factor. He actually, this might scare y'all, but he actually might wear WWE gold. Imagine if he was on Raw every week or SmackDown every week. He might actually wear WWE gold. It wouldn't have surprised me if WWE would have said, we're going to put the belt on Seth Rollins and make that a United States Championship match. Because I think it could have worked. And I know people will go crazy, but you got to look at it. He's selling tickets. He's making money. He's making money for the company, folks. That's what it's all about. So, like I said, shout out to Omar. Make sure you check out the episode I did with him. Protect my main event. I don't know if we're gonna get that main event, Omar. I don't know. But and guess what? I think I'm gonna share a couple other points he made. He said, okay, this is what he said. We do this as much as people. And he says, number one, you can in some way by those guys writing some version of it. You can make yourself into a social media influencer. You can make yourself into a boxer or pro wrestler. That's what the Pauls have done. The path may not always align, but it can be done. Number two, it's like when we try to tell billionaires what to spend their money on from our vantage point. But in reality, if you was that person, you'd be holding tight on your money and you would reserve that too. You reserve that right. You would do that too. Three, we gotta stop acting like people belong in certain spaces. Sometimes we're correct, but oftentimes we're wrong. Because when people in the inside say it, then it holds weight. Yeah, like we're not in the wrestling business. If those guys are working with them, come on now, Roman Reigns. You think when he did all that at Survivor Series, you think that was like, yeah, that was a part of the character, but yeah, he got that type of clout. Trust me. And he said that's like the NBA player who says Kobe was harder to guard than LeBron, or by firsthand experience, that some 12-year-old Kobe Troll says no. Exactly. So who am I to say Logan Paul doesn't belong in WWE? I know, but I'm saying he belongs there. Yeah, I'm gonna say as a consumer, right? But what I'm also saying, the reason why I say this because I'm using backup as what the guys in the ring have showed. Because you're not gonna put your crown jewel, literally. Roman Reigns is the crown jewel of the WWE. You're not gonna put him in the ring with a guy like Logan Paul if you don't think he can work and he can go. So those are my final thoughts on this. I know, like I said, it was gonna be a quick episode to break it down with Brian H. Look, man, it's WrestleMania season. I'm in the content creating business. I'm out here. I got plans coming up. I'm gonna be on. I was just doing my guy Lyndon's Bros Who Shoot podcast, and so make sure y'all check that out. I might have just butchered that name, but it's also gonna be airing on ESPN Lafayette tomorrow. So yeah, check me out there. Check me out on the I'm coming up on Backstage Brawl, so be on the lookout for that. You know, so yeah, the special work shoot pod. Yeah, so make sure you check me out on that one. Make sure you follow Lynn at Lynn BWT. I was on Rob Has a Podcast under the Rob Has a Podcast network, the Wrestling Wrap Up with Mari and Matt. So yeah, y'all stay tuned with me. Let's get on this road to WrestleMania. If y'all look at the collab, I'm up with the collaborations. I got shows coming up this week. This week I got Prince Noah Idol. Excuse me. I had Prince Machiavelli on last week. This week I got Noah Idol coming on. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about that episode. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure y'all check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the road to WrestleMania. I wish I had the classic WrestleMania music in the queue because I play it. But this is the road to WrestleMania, and I promise you, we in for a ride, folks. So until the next time, I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody.
What's up, wrestling fans? My name is The Real Dwayne Allen. This is Brian H. Waters, and we are the Wrestling Realm. And today we bring you a new show. Something smaller, but something new to the Wrestling Realm Network, that we call it now, our YouTube channel, network, whatever the case may be, man, you named it. Nevertheless, we got a new show. It is called 20 Questions, where myself and Brian H. Waters will go rapid fire and we'll answer 20 different questions about a number of different subjects. But today, we figure for those that don't know us, you can get to know the realm just a little bit better than maybe you have before. So today, I asked Brian H. Waters 20 questions so you, the fans, can kind of get to know this gentleman right here. Brian H., you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, bro. 20 questions.
Yep.
20 questions on the clock. First pro wrestling memory.
First pro wrestling memory, Hogan versus Warrior, just getting ready, being in the car with my grandfather, and him describing that we getting ready to go home and watch WrestleMania 6.
All right. First piece of wrestling merchandise.
Oh, man, that's a good one. Probably WrestleMania